So autism daily struggles. In this video, I'm showing you 5 ways that you can help control and keep on track of that. Let's get into the video. So autism is a very interesting condition, and if you guys are new around here, my name is Dan. I have autism, ADHD, OCD and dyslexia. I make weekly videos all about this kind of stuff. So if you want to learn more, remember to hit the subscribe button by clicking that notification bell down below. And if you're watching on Facebook and Instagram, be sure to follow this page for daily videos. Okay, so let's get into it. Daily struggles with autism. Whew, this is an interesting one. I have struggled my entire life with autism. I'm not saying every day is a struggle, but there are daily struggles. There are daily issues, and there are things that present themselves, and you think, God, you know, I wish I had some help with that. So I'm here today to help you guys out. If you haven't already, make sure to download my free PDF book for autism life hacks. You can download that right now at autismhacks.net. Super dope. Okay, so how we're going to do this is I'm going to break it down. I have 5 items here on my items list. I'm going to go through each one, and hopefully this gives you guys some sort of help and education in understanding some ways to overcome some daily life struggles. And if you're a parent, howdy, you're doing an excellent job. Let's get into it. Okay, so number 1 is apps. I use apps on my mobile phone, on my cell phone, every single day. My favorite apps to use are things like Microsoft To Do, which is like basically a to-do planning app. I use Apple Reminders, Apple Notes, and the Apple iCal, which is basically the inbuilt kind of calendar or whatever you've got on your phone or your iPad. And the reason that these are so good is because executive function and forward planning always kind of is a bit of an issue with me. So if I want to write something down, or if I need to if I think something's a good idea, I have to write it down. If I want to execute a certain amount of things in a day, like, you know, take the dog to the groomers, go for a walk, you know, have a shower, make sure to eat and drink water, I have to have all these things written down in a to-do list fashion format, and otherwise I'm not going to be able to actually do the tasks presented. So I write everything down in Microsoft To Do. Then I use my Apple Reminders to remind me to do those things, and then I also use my notes section to kind of just write down my thoughts and feelings, because sometimes that really does help. Okay, so number 2 is downtime. Now, you know, issues present themselves in all kinds of ways in autism daily life, but it's very important to implement downtime, or time where you feel not surrounded by the things that are basically bringing you stress. So it's important to have time when you are doing things that bring you joy. So this could be going for a walk, exercising, hanging out with friends, eating a cool meal, playing video games. I know this is a big one for the autism community, so you know, you guys are awesome. So doing things like this within your day, I would say at least give yourself an hour to do this stuff. It gives your brain a time to relax and kind of just relax and reset itself, so that you guys have a bit of a break from the craziness of life, and then just have a little bit more enjoyment. But if you don't put any enjoyment into your day at all, then you'll end up reaching burnout, which is like not a good thing. Okay, so number 2 is Brillia. Brillia is a homeopathic medication. It's non-prescription based, so basically you can get this thing, you know, over the counter ideally, or if you can just buy it on their website. Now, Brillia have kindly sponsored this video. Now, Brillia is a awesome homeopathic medication, which is good for anxiety, stress, restlessness, irritability, and impulsivity. I actually use it to help with my ADHD symptoms, and it's really good for that. Now, you have to take it for like 3 or 4 weeks before you see a huge change. But what happens is, like, you'll see an increase in focus, you'll see an increase in your ability to be more relaxed in the moment, which is absolutely amazing. This is definitely a daily life hack, which is probably the best kept secret of anything. Like I said, there's no nasties in it. It's non-habit forming, so you're not going to get addicted to it or anything like that, and there are no harmful side effects. Definitely check with your doctor before taking any type of homeopathic medication, but I will leave a link for Brillia in the description down below, so please check them out. They're super awesome. Okay, so number 4 are sensory hacks. So autistic people usually have sensory processing disorder issues. And this could be anything from sensory input, like, you know, going to the store and smelling all the deli food, or you know, I don't know, hearing a noise from another room, or even down to being touched lightly or hard, or the temperature in the room heating up or cooling down. People on the autism spectrum are susceptible to these things, and they can cause a lot of distress and issues during the day. So in order to be in line with this, implement things that are going to help. So if light is an issue, implement wearing sunglasses. If noise is an issue, wear headphones that dampen the environment. There is, you know, the A1 hack for me is wearing sensory deprivating headphones, which is basically noise cancelling headphones that you put in your ears, and they actually dampen the environment, which is just absolutely fantastic. I love this kind of stuff, and this actually helps a lot with basically any sensory input, because when you have too much sensory overloads, like, it just creates this overwhelming annoyance of just like, you know, you're close to a meltdown and you start freaking out because you can hear all this noise and all this stuff's going on. But another thing I'd say is also create a monthly sensory break. And what this means is taking yourself away from the hustle and bustle that you're surrounded with and actually implementing some calmness. So say you work from home like I do. So I work from home and I'm in my office, but when I'm in my office, I'm working on projects and I'm working on videos and I'm doing all this kind of stuff with my team. But to a sensory break for me would to be taking me outside of that working environment, but still being in my home, the place where I feel really, really comfy and cozy, but without the stress of the work or the responsibilities put on there, because demand avoidance is something that autistic people do actually have issues with. But having a monthly sensory break will absolutely change the way that you live your life, because it will give you those short breaks to help calm your brain and give it a bit of a reset or a bit of a vacation that it definitely needs. Okay, so number 5 is alerts. You know, being autistic, I have the worst time. If somebody says to me, Dan, we need to go here at this date at this time, I'm going to be like, could you say that 15 million times before I remember it? I ain't going to remember it. I ain't never going to remember anything. So in order to go forward planning, I then have a reminders app. So I ask my phone to say, hey, assistant, so I don't want to trigger anybody's machines, can you schedule dinner tomorrow for my mum's birthday at 5:30 in the restaurant B? And then my phone will put it in and say, cool, I'll remind you. And at that day, at that time, it will remind me like just maybe 5 to half an hour before, which is perfect. This gives me the ability to live my life and not worry about that, because what would happen if I miss those dates, or what has happened when I miss those dates, I freak out. I absolutely freaked out. There's meltdowns happening, there's all kinds of stuff. So in order to keep on track, set alerts and reminders. Guys, if you thought this video was awesome, please share it on any social media platform. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, peace.